Hey everyone and welcome to Sin Gaming. Welcome back to Weekly Dose of Skyrim Mods, a series where as usual we scour the Nexus for interesting mod releases in the recent period and give it a deserving spotlight and showcase. Today's video will focus on mods that have been either released during these 20 days on 2021 or mods that I consider to have not received the proper recognition, hoping this video will shine a light on it and to an extent give a proper spotlight and perhaps boost in popularity in the process. I might eventually decide to open up a Hidden Gems video series, but I still haven't officially gone through with the idea, so if you'd like and find a time, feel free to let me know if this is something you'd like to see on this channel. Furthermore, our return to 2021 was a riveting success, from an absolutely mind-blowing support on a subreddit to an outpour of individual support by some members of the community, going as far as to help with the future video production all the way to the creation kit lessons, helping me understand the process behind modding and making me realize the amount of work and goodwill goes into creating most of these mods. Nevertheless, a brief and heartfelt thank you for everything, and with that being said, it's time to get to the contents of this video and jump straight into the mod showcase. We'll start off with the city overhaul of one of the more neglected cities in province of Skyrim, the home of the Nords and the city of stone, Windhelm. Capital Windhelm expansion takes this ancient and perhaps the oldest human city on the continent and gives it a deserved overhaul suitable for the hold and the province. The mod author of this mod has already given an overhaul similar to this one to City of Whiterun, and we have covered that mod in one of our previous videos, detailing all of the features and advantages included in Capital Whiterun expansion mod. Given its quality, as soon as I saw Windhelm Overhaul being released on the Nexus 3 days ago, I knew that we would be getting a same quality treatment for the City of Stone. The overhaul includes a tons of features, and upon entering the city for the first time, you will notice a more open city layout, less cramped streets, and plethora of new buildings. The author has mentioned that looking into this overhaul, he found a huge amount of unused Windhelm assets in the game files, so much so that the impression was that Bethesda originally had huge plans with the City of the Nords, but it felt like they abandoned the project halfway through and just threw together whatever was made up until that point. All of these assets became useful in this mod's creation, as a lot of the buildings, graveyard areas, pit fighter arena, and decent amount of NPC dialogue has been restored, shining light upon this cut content 10 years after the game's release. The graveyard has been completely restored, and this area became very impressive in its design, as the gravestones and the alleyway where we start the famous quest Blood on the Ice has been filled with amazing meshes, giving this part of the city an ancient and heroic historical appearance. Furthermore, on the other side of the city, a pit fighter arena has been restored from these files along with some voice-acted NPCs. At the moment, this arena is just for show, but as far as I understood it, there are plans to perhaps reintroduce everything that was originally planned to be shipped with the arena. However, if impatient, this part of the city is compatible with Pit Fighter mod, a mod that will enable you to bet on and spectate fights in this same arena, and many more features that should be individually talked about some other time. Capital Windhelm expansion adds new shops with winter goods, a smith specialized on axes, 2 bakeries, one for nobles and one for commoners, a meadery, Dunmer alchemist and magic goods shop, a small tavern, Windhelm focused museum, a new player home called Greystone Lodge, and a thieves guild house. The mod further adds over 40 new and lore-friendly NPCs carefully spread around the city to avoid significant performance impact. Some of these come with unique dialogue that was cut from the game, while others utilize existing in-game dialogue to converse with the player, and they all have their AI properly packed, meaning they will be immersively sandboxing around the city, from practicing fights to reading history scrolls, drinking mead in the evening, and so on. The city also comes with new decorations around the town and has proper DLC integration. The readable inscriptions around the town can be found describing Windhelm's long history, and Grey Quarter shops will offer imported goods from Solstheim. The mod also features some changes outside of the city walls, through added small dark elf shanty town to the east, to new dock district to the west with small tavern, the frozen wheelhouse from the concept art, and some conveniently placed ice floes for Frostfall users out there, being able to now cross the river without freezing to death. Additionally, the city now offers quest features that affects Windhelm in a small but impactful way. This means that depending on what quest the player finishes, the city will have small changes around the city. During the Blood of the Ice questline, flowers and candles will be placed where certain NPCs were killed, or during Rise in the East quest, the East Empire Company will get some new decoration upon completion. Furthermore, in an unlikely event a player decided to join the filthy Imperial ranks and brings them to victory, City will end up with removed banners, taken down Talos statues, and will affect some NPCs' social status. And lastly, the mod further adds new quests given by these aforementioned added NPCs to the game, from some simple fetch quests to more complex investigation type quests or one-man crusade against the Thalmor undertaking. Final note about the mod that you should keep in mind is, although released, the overhaul has some polishing to tend to, as there are some minor bugs, and in its early stage the mod is likely to be incompatible with a lot of the creations out there. For example, JK Skyrim and Dawn of Skyrim will require additional patch to avoid clipping and merged objects, just like Open Cities and Bells of Skyrim and other mods changing the layout of the city. The footage in the background is Capital Windhelm expansion with JK Skyrim and Dawn of Skyrim personally created patches in the past 2 days, after generous lessons in the creation kit by few members of the community. With that being said, with a little patience and time, I am sure we will get patches for more prominent mods out there very soon. Overall, an incredible addition to the City of Stone with tasteful implementation, and the fact that we got to see assets and COD content originally planned to be part of the game further cements this mod consistency with the world, and in my personal case found its permanent place in my load order. Shifting gears and moving to the west side of the province, and we will check out the Solitude retexture mod that was released previous year, but barely got any recognition, which is especially sour when realizing how good looking and high quality they are. The retexture in question is another Solitude. Solitude being the richest city in Skyrim and experiencing increased prosperity, it's only logical this to be properly represented with rich materials mined from an ore in Blackstreet, included marble floors, and a luxurious dyed driftwood coated with amazing weather-resistant pigment. This texture overhaul is now my personal favorite out of all of the textures I've found thus far for capital city of Skyrim, and its style is a little bit different and kind of gives off an Assassin's Creed vibes, especially when used in tandem with Solitude Parallax upgrade, another retexture created by the same mod author. Keep in mind that, as is the case with all Parallax effects, in order to utilize its full potential, users will be required to install Parallax shader fix released by the community for maximum effects and quality offered by this mod. The retexture is compatible with everything from Legacy of the Dragonborn to JK Skyrim, Dawn of Skyrim, and many available Solitude expansion mods. The options included are 4K textures for best appearance and 2K textures for increased performance. Please make sure to support this mod author and his creations, as these textures definitely deserve more recognition. While we are in Solitude, we will pay a quick visit to 2 interior overhauls released by a well-known face in the community, the face that gave us mods such as JK's Skyrim, Riverfall Cottage, and many others, and that's JK's Winking Skeever and Angeline's Aromatics. The Winking Skeever Inn received a fully fledged overhaul and redesign, featuring a new 3rd floor with a small player home with a balcony. You can buy the key from the innkeeper, by the way, an expanded inn with 4 extra rooms for travelers, a balcony on the 2nd floor, and tons of new decorations all over the inn. The inn was changed significantly, but its original design was kept to stay true to its original feel. The area feels more spacious and feels like a proper inn suitable for the prosperous capital city of Skyrim. The mod author has made sure the mod has been cleaned and flagged as an ESL file, so it doesn't count towards the ESP limit. The overhaul should be compatible with most mods as long as they're not changing the inn itself, and if you are using alternate start or ELFX, proper patches are provided by the community. As far as Angeline's Aromatics are concerned, this interior cell received no significant changes in its layout. However, the mod author has introduced new shelves, ingredients, and properly placed clutter for increased opulent feel. Next up, we'll take a brief look at the most popular mod released this week, and that's Dynamic Volumetric Light and Sun Shadows SKSE plugin. The plugin fixes one of the Skyrim's oldest problems, and that's the fact that the shadows and volumetric lighting are only casted from the sun during 10 AM to 4 PM. Depending on your lighting, E&B series, and reshade setup, the results may vary. However, most load orders will see a definite improvement in in-game lighting, especially during morning and evening times. It's quite amazing how such little things can add to the immersion and realistic feel to the game, while at the same time staying true to the original Skyrim feel. In this particular video, Rudy's E&B with Zengdar's reshade was used, and I've noticed a significant change to lighting and overall improved the look of the game and added a realistic touch to it as well. Moving on to a fresh and brand new NPC overhaul, specifically the female counterpart of House Carl's followers and companions, and that will be the Shield Sisters reimagined overhaul. This particular overhaul changes and beautifies 24 female NPCs that have been thoroughly modernized with high poly heads, top of the line textures, and the mod author's personal take on each of these NPCs' appearance. The texture fidelity and overall quality of that same appearance for these NPCs are impressive and directly become a decent competitor to other NPC overhaul counterparts by Bidgen and Pandorable. The mod author's take on these NPCs seem to be a tiny bit different from previously mentioned competitors, and the selection of women within this overhaul seem to appear more youthful, while at the same time preserving that needed ruggedness these NPCs deserve to have. For maximum compatibility, the mod author has provided few options for whatever body style the users have in their load orders, and additionally recommends to ensure your hardware can handle these NPCs, as they do come in 4K textures and 2K tint masks. At the end of the day, it comes down to a personal preference which overhaul to stick with, but the quality of this new competitor is indeed undeniable. And finally, we have the already previously covered mod on this channel, and that's Cathedral 3D Mountain Flowers. The reason this at a glance minor change is getting a secondary spotlight is because I felt the mod received a huge boost in consistency with the most recent update few days ago. Originally, the mod replaces ultra low quality vanilla mountain flowers with 3D flowers from photographs of columbine flowers, characteristic of high altitude and northern latitude flora, and their appearance in Skyrim are a lore friendly option to pick up, as columbines are scattered across landscape in both Elder Scrolls Online and Elder Scrolls 4. The update that I've considered to be a cool boost in consistency is an update 1.7 version, with introduction of impressive alternate models that will be present in snowy and cold areas. The mod further received new normal maps, thinner stems and snowy retextures by one of the more prominent names in the texture portion of the community. There is not much else to add about this mod, as I've already given a proper spotlight to it. However, I wanted to give a quick revisit to it, as this particular update in my opinion increases the consistency of what this mod is attempting to change, and without a doubt deserve a place in your own load order. That's it for this weekly dose of Skyrim mods. Please make sure to endorse any mod that you have decided to use, and consider giving this video a like to help with its reach, and subscribe to the channel for future mod coverage. Don't hesitate to join my Discord community by clicking the link in the description if you want to participate in modding discussion, share knowledge, and learn anything there is related to this sacred hobby of ours. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.